Hi, welcome to our 13th Equator College webinar, a design conversation with our very own alumni, Hector Lim, who is now an emerging sculptor. On the other side, we have Edward Low, who started his own art toy called Draw the Low. So, and also co-founded My Toy Hot with a few other passionate individuals who loves art toys and collectibles. So thank you for joining us this evening. I hope this session will inspire all of you once again. It is an honor to have the both of you in this webinar in this evening. Now, can you further introduce yourself to the audience? So today, the format will be a bit different. Edward will be using English and Hector will be using Mandarin in his conversation. So maybe, Edward, you can start with you.
Okay.
Yourself.
So Edward here, currently based in Singapore, working in hotel line. Started my toy hot in 2017. I myself used to like to draw also back in primary school. Wanted to be a comic artist somehow, but didn't carry forward with that path because typical Chinese Asian family and things like that. You must take science stream, blah 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 blah. But somehow dropped into hotel line and then, but good enough lah. Somehow managed to find back the passion to start drawing again, and and then collect toys. It's a dangerous hobby. Yeah.
Hector.
哎，你们好，我是 Hector Lim， 你可以叫我俊宏。我去年才创办这个 Primordial Creation。我之前是修读这个Graphic and Multimedia Design， 还有这个，然后就又在修读这个 Fine Art 纯艺术啦。然后所以过后就出来做工咯，就是去那个 art company 啊，做关于那些fiberglass 啊这样的雕像的东西啊，然后还有做 mold making 啊 casting 啊，做 sculpting 啊，关于这方面的东西啊，然后所以就已经有过了10年这样了，现在我是自己出来做咯，就是做自己的 figure 啊，自己的 GK 啊 ，GK 就是那种 garage kit 啦，racing kit 那种东西，然后自己做自己卖那种，然后还有接一些 commission 啊，这样 commission work 啊那种。
Okay, thank you. Very interesting. So, Edward, as a person in the hotel industry, how do you even think of starting My Toy Hot? And now you have your own toy brand. So, as a collectible, as a collector, a lot of collectors out there, but no one actually think like you. You grouped together with few friends and started My Toy Hot. And now you are pursuing your true passion in creating your own toy. So how do you even think of starting it?
Okay. This one is I'm not always in the hotel. I mean, it's already in Singapore for like 11 years, going to 12. And in between, there's like few years I'm working in a private concierge company, like those bank cards that you can call in to help you do bookings on flights, hotel, all this stuff. Then during that time, I always like to go visit museum and things like that. Then we have to keep ourselves up to date on events and exhibition happening in the town, in the city. So happened one time I checked online, finding what to do, where to go. Then I found SDGCC in 2016, the Singapore Toy Game Convention, Comic Convention. So go there at the time. It was also after my Japan trip with my family. Then that time bought a lot of gachapon in Japan. then start to want to collect toys again. Then go to STGCC, and then not knowing what is designer toy, art toys. Go there because I want to see Funko Pop only that time, and see those Marvel, DC comic and stuff like that. Then found this. I bought my very first one. You can see here. This is a Soul Collector by Huggy. It's a FTGCC exclusive at that time, produced by Mighty Jacks. This one is like $30, so for me it's like, okay, not bad. Because the rest of them I see is like $60, $100. It's like, wow, why so small, so expensive? I don't know what is it, so don't want to buy it. Then go home, Instagram, you dig into this rabbit hole, keep searching, and then from hashtag, from account, you follow artists, and then like that fall into this deep hole. Then in October there's an Inktober, so since then I just want to pick up drawing again. So I start drawing Inktober, and then after that thought, hey, maybe I can start sculpting my own things. So ask around, buy paper clay, start making small stuff lah. And then then slowly build from there, learn how to recast in resin. Still not a real job, still not what, because I basically take it as a hobby, but hopefully someday can go more advanced on it. And for my toy hot, it's also funny. I don't know Zhang, I don't know Jacqueline in person. One fine day, my brother just said, hey, my friend, you collect toys, right? You buy toys, right? My friend need your help to buy a toy in Singapore. So, okay, let me know. Then Zhang messaged me, hey, help me to buy this toy from Ozo Collection. If you are in Singapore, you have to go Ozo Collection. So, okay, I help him buy. Turn out the toy is actually for Jacqueline. Jacqueline want to customize the toy. So from there, we connected without meeting each other in person at all. And then because after I start collecting, I'll start finding like, hey, is there any Malaysian doing toys? Is there any collectors in Malaysia? But no information. You're not fine. But I managed to find artists. First one is I actually met Sean Lee, also from Penang, in FTGCC. That time I don't know him. He's Malaysian. I just see this tiny thing is like selling like $16. I don't know what is it, so I didn't buy. But after that, I contact him and then buy from him also. This is my very first Malaysian designer toys, I would say, the very first one. So from there, then start to like, how come there's no place to gather artists, gather collectors, and spread more information on all this stuff? I have this idea, but I don't know how to start. Also like, how we supposed to do this thing, right? Then randomly after the whole thing, then Jacqueline suddenly like texted like, hey, thank you for this, blah blah blah, and then like, hey, actually then we start talking about toys, start talking about collectors, start talking about artists and things like that. Actually, why don't we do something? Then drag in Zhang also, then we discuss like, yeah, in July 2017, we just started this Facebook group. We name it My Toy Hot lah, because hoarding is like, we just hot toys. Yeah, that's how it all begins.
Very interesting. Okay, so thank you, Edward. So Hector, sculpting is not an easy work to do, especially when your works has all the details in it. What inspired you to start this?
我想是模型书啦，关于模型的书籍啊，然后还有玩具，还有那些电影啊，说那种sci-fi啊那种电影啊，然后有关于怪兽啊那种东西啊，也是以前很小的时候就很喜欢看这类型的东西，然后就会想说他们到底是怎样做出来的啊，怎样把它弄到这样生动啊，这样会动的那种啊，然后就对这些 造型方面的，就做这 grey modeling 啊、sculpting 啊很有兴趣，就产生兴趣哦。然后所以就小时候就在书店看到我们有卖那种 paper plate，就拿回来自己练习弄啊，然后就过后就在书上找一些教程啊 tutorial 啊，然后学起来就学他们那种制作的方法，然后讲呢，就是在这个比较长大了，然后那时候比较长大，那时候好像是中学的时候啊，中学的时候那时候就会上网找那些关于这些 sculpting 的资料啊，制作玩具的方法啊，那种东西来 improve 自己的那个 skill 那种咯。然后我的东西多数都是以黑暗为题材的，就是说做那种恶魔啊、妖怪啊，我是比较喜欢这样的东西啊，比较黑暗，所以我觉得我的东西在这里不大有人能接受了。Hello，
I think your things look very movie-like. Like if you watch Alien, H.R. Geiger, those are the kind of you are almost to that kind of genre. Is H.R. Geiger one of your influence? Hector?
算是啦，因为 Alien 啊，像 Alien 啊、Predator 啊，都是我很喜欢的东西。我自己有收藏他的玩具啊、模型啊那种。所以制作的时候，有些他的 detailing 啊，我都会参考他们的造型来制作。
Okay, so most of your customers come from where?
国外会比较多。
国外。
I
saw
国外的 customer 会比较多。
In Taiwan, where else?
Taiwan, US, Japan 这几个地方，还有香港。
Okay, so
本地也是有，一点。
比较少啊。
没有这样多。
Okay, so since both of you create collectibles, and also collectors, so how do you see the market of collectibles in Malaysia compared to other countries?
I'll go first.
Yeah, maybe Edward.
It's slower, but definitely growing. Based on just what happened in the past 3 years since we started my toy hot. Back then, it's like you never know there's like hardcore collectors and those artists, and there's like a fabric collector, there's like all kind of designer toys collector, but they're not really want to show off but luckily with groups and things like that, then they slowly start posting their collections, then educate people. It's like, hey, there are actually people collecting in Malaysia also. Then with right now there's like more artists appearing, then college students choosing making toys as their final project or their graduation project. Then and then we have seen more shops bringing in designer toys also, blind boxes to start with, and eventually the bigger pieces. So yeah, it's definitely growing. And in terms of artists, in terms of art collectors, it's really more and more coming in. We can see from the group how the interaction going on. There are more people interested in these things, like want to know more. So we can say we are doing the right thing to spread the poison, to let more people know about this. Yeah.
Yeah, Hector, what about you?
我觉得，我也不懂怎样讲，no comment。
Yeah, like for example, lots of your collectors come from Taiwan, US, and Japan. So what do you think is the main factors that these places has more collectors who buy your stuff than the local?
我觉得国外呢也是有很多那种就是说做模型的人呢，就是说做玩那种 GK 啊，那种 Garage Kit 的人呢，这里我觉得反而比较少，所以他们就会给我买回去自己上色啊，自己可能上他们自己喜欢的颜色啊，或者改装啊，还是怎样啊？
Yeah, I think how but again another thing is that do you think the factors is that people here is less have less knowledge about the thing. Like for example, when we go to Toy Expo, lots of people will ask you, is your toys has a story or it doesn't have a story, you know? But in Malaysia, it's very different. I think people has that mentality that thinks that every toy must has an animation, you know, before you know, if you don't have an animation, how are you going to sell your toy? Then like for example, like He-Man, GI Joe, Transformers never had an animation before they produced a toy. So what do you think?
I think it's like education now. I mean, the culture education is like, I mean, we are still in probably the infant stage of, compared to other countries. Even places like Philippines, I mean, Thailand, no need to say, is already up there. Philippines is growing very, very fast. And see Vietnam also growing. So Malaysia wise is like, I mean, that's why we have this, and back in 2017, Chun Wei organized the Georgetown Comic Con thingy. That one is a good start, at least to show public like there's something like local people are doing this. So it's a good start. Hopefully, Chun Wei, another one soon. And then also last year, 2 years ago, when in the TAGCC, that's when we first like Malaysia artists have booth also. And last year, my toy hall, we just randomly just get a booth also to display our collections But glad to know there's students, there's public that want to find out more. Like what you said, really got this uncle and a young kid literally come to me and say, to ask the exact question. You mean that whatever you have here is not on the TV? He literally asked me this question. I say yes. I dare to say yes. But I mean, this is all from the pop culture, all this surrounding that make the artist create something like this not available out there. So it's a unique thing, and also I'm glad to have this kind of shows that make people aware, and then there's like fresh grad to come and talk to us. Then we say like, hey, there's this group of Malaysian artists doing this. So they are graphic designer and they are amazed and realize that, hey, after I graduate, I not necessarily must go to do advertisement, not necessarily must only do this specific job for graphic designer. So it's a good start. We definitely need to do more event like that to continue promote, to continue educate them. It's a long way, but we are on the right path, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, what about Hector? What do you think?
我是觉得这里的人，他们的那个就是他们会比较喜欢 commercial 的东西，对吗？我这样讲对吗？
对，
就是我不懂啊，就是我看很多都是会喜欢那种 Iron Man 啊Marvel Heroes 的东西的
大众化
比较大众化的东西。所以对，好像我们自己手做的啊，自己想出来的那种像 original concept 啊那种，这里的人我觉得不大能接受啦，我是这样觉得啊。希望这样讲不会得罪到人啊。
要他们领悟到要怎样珍惜本地的那些才华人才。
对对对，这我觉得这里可以办多一点那些玩具展啊、模型展啊，让他们知道，因为我看通常那些展都是有放比较 commercial 的东西的，手做东西会比较少，这是我的看法。所以我觉得，如果可以的话，可以办一场好像，全部 Malaysian 的 designer 啊、artist 啊做的那些 toys 啊，也可以 promote 自己，也可以让更多人知道这里的这里其实也是有很多那种有潜质的 artist 啊。
Yeah, true. I think when he talks about this, to all the audience, you can head up to my Toy Hot Facebook page. So it's spelled MYTOYHOARD, right?
Yeah.
So you can find them on their Facebook page. So basically, I think Edward, maybe you can talks a bit about the current online exhibition, online show.
Okay. This year at first we only planned for one. We did it in July because supposedly it's in April. That was My Toys 2.0 exposure exhibition. This one we co-organized with Titik Merah. So then because of MCO, then delay until July. Then we did it during the Haji week that month during that time. And that one is mainly just to show local artists. There's like 22 of them doing the show. Like show what they do. That one is first one, and then after that, after the first one, we just I think we should do one more. And then that time we actually planned like we thought about like moving to other cities also. Then Chunwei came along to discuss like, hey, we should do one in Penang. Why not? I said okay. Then we also planned that one is also for December supposedly. Already found location, everything set up. I want to go ahead already. Then CMCO happen. Then it's like, should we delay or should we postpone or whatever? Then it's like, why not we move it to online instead? Since we are just a Facebook group to do online. So this time we did is with the team, a more easy to accept team to start with. We do childhood junk food. So basically it's like the artist, whatever childhood, your snacks, your junk food, inspired to make a toy about that. So we just posted it last weekend. It's been running. It will be until Christmas Day, 25th. Currently, if you go to our Facebook group page, you will see it on the announcement. The album is still there. Or if you go to our Instagram, same thing. My Toy Hot, no space, no nothing, one word. You see all the artists' post is there, and it's a good way to start to slowly do more. Hopefully next year we'll do a few more to get more new artists to involve, and also hopefully the international scene will get noticed also on our own artists, and also hopefully collect our stuff also. At the same time, to show the public in our own country, like, you know, we have a bunch of people doing things that speaks to ourselves lah. Because like food, we're trying to think of like what else we can do next time. Probably will be stick to the local, try to be local team first lah. So easy start before we go something else. Yeah. So currently this show is still going on. There are still quite a few available on for the show to sell. You can contact the artist directly to buy them. Yeah. Can't hear you, Junwei.
Yeah, I think like we all do all these art toys. We have our brand independently. So what is the best way to promote your brand actually? You know, like in the past, we get to join a toy festival, toy show in Taiwan, Thailand, you know, in Beijing, and all these things. So what like for example, now you have this pandemic, we can't really travel, but of course there are shows that are still going on that we send the toys to the organizer, right? So what are the other way that you can promote your brand and how you promote it?
I think now easiest is social media. It's like Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, even TikTok or whatever. It's like you have to be thick face, really have to be thick face. You cannot be shy and then say like, hey, hopefully someone can see my things like that. You cannot do that. You really have to be thick face and put your things out there. No matter what, you have to put your things out there to let people see. And then if you there you can tag the people if you holding their things, and then put your toys next to them, you know, you tag them to let them notice first. Or, you know, share. It's like now beside My Toy Hot, other countries have their own Facebook group also. Just go ahead and post your things there. No need to be shy. They are very friendly. Vietnam got one very active group. Then Philippines got like, I don't know, 3 or 4. Then yeah, basically just go out, and I mean, it's like in an exhibition also, if let's say you are at a venue, you can't be just sitting at your booth waiting, right? You have to, sometimes you have to leave your booth and then go out, mingle, build your network, know more people, to show people what you do instead of waiting in your booth. Hopefully someone come over. Same thing, you do it online, you just go out, do it online at home, but then you go out on the internet world. That's the best way to really go and promote your things. Yeah.
Right. So what about Hector?
因为现在都不能参展啊，不能去这里，不能去那里啊，所以我觉得最好的方法也是一样放在脸书上 ，Facebook、Instagram， 就是你一直要曝光哦，你的作品哦，一直要给人家看到你的 update 哦，那我就是用这种方法，让更多人知道你的作品啊，你的 brand 啊，然后还有你可以像 Edward 说的，你可以把你的作品放去My Toy Hot 啊，又或者是这个模型的 group 啊，玩具的 group 啊，给多一点人知道你的东西。
So now toys has always been regarded as the plaything or something that children will play, right? But then with art toys, it is very different. But a lot of people doesn't understand where art toys belong to. So do you think can art toys being presented as a piece of art?
The answer yes. Because it's like that's why there is this called art collectibles. It's just art piece that present in a toy form. It's like take fabric for example. Basically, you can play with fabric if you want to, but many just buy it and then display at home. It's like then they have like this 1000% that no one really will carry that and walk around. So they just buy that and then put it at home. But the 100% small one, this one Malaysia one, this one is hopefully they're going to make a big one for us in future, right? Or so it's like you can play this. It's like it's just a normal toy, but most of them will just keep it at home and then display it together. So and like those one-off customized pieces, no one going to buy few hundred and then bring it around let the children play. So you're just going to put it and display and like appreciate the design, appreciate the sculpting, all these things. And actually, during our first show in Titik Merah, we did a sharing session, and Adam J, Blank Malaysia, actually share about this topic. So if you want to know more, you can go to our YouTube account to see that. Actually, upload the sharing session. It's about half an hour. So he talked about this topic also, and for him, which is art can actually, toys can actually be art. Yeah.
What about Hector?
对我来说呢，就拿原创的那种作品，就是说手作作品来说，每件作品都是艺术品。就像 toys 那种我觉得也可以说是艺术品了。他们也可以拿来做摆放观赏用那种。所以 toys 我觉得它不一定是要拿来玩所以真的是可以拿来让给人家看放着观赏用，收藏价值有收藏价值那种。所以对我来说是艺术品，
Yeah, thank you. So in this pandemic, do you see the drastic change in the way you work or operating? And also, has this pandemic affected your works?
Not really, because I still have a day job. So I'm not doing this for full time. But in terms of sharing toys release and things like that during the MCO period, really lesser things to share. It's like suddenly the whole market just go quiet. And factory all not artists all not showing anything. Everything is like pending delay. So nothing much to share during that time. Seriously, it's like you can dig through the internet. Everything is like one day maybe 1-2 posts can share only. If not, it's like the repeat thing. That one affected, but other than that, for myself, not much. Just still working.
Hector?
现在疫情的时候呢，我觉得要去买材料那些也是很困难像我是有做 casting molding 那种还有时候我做那种 sculpture 要用到那些 material 全部都很难买到，尤其是现在的 shipping 越来越贵好像我现在在槟城，然后如果我要买关于这些 sculpting molding casting 的 material 我就要跨州了，槟城很难买得到，甚至可能你要去到北海巴德那边找也是很麻烦然后现在又一直不能出去，很麻烦，然后而且客户方面也是会有一些影响可能可能hello 听到吗？ 听到吗？
Yes, yes.
可能是shipping 的问题了，就他们会觉得shipping 贵了啊，就不值得买啊，会有影响到。然后材料就是国外很难ship过来这里，现在这个情况啊，这个 situation 呢很难寄过来这里，所以你就要想办法哟，自己要想办法哟。可能你有所剩下的材料啊，可以先拿来用先，没有办法了，就是我觉得这是唯一的办法了。
Yeah, true. Okay, I think this question I asked last week also. Designers' toys is booming in Malaysia. Like this past week, we also see new designers' toy that just introduced themselves, right? So so it's booming in Malaysia as many new aspiring art toy artists emerge. So where do you think this culture will lead to? Will you see more art toys in Malaysia in the near future? Maybe
I would say yes. I mean, we are heading to the right path. Yeah. At the beginning, when we started my Toy Hot, the main thing is to promote this scene in local local market to let people know more. So with all these new artists coming in, collectors coming in, toy shop bringing in toys, designer toys and things like that. So yeah, it's like the changes we can see is increasing, is improving, and yeah, we are going on the right path lah. I mean, hopefully we can do more shows and then more road shows and things like that to let more people see, because right now it's like if you are not in Facebook or Instagram, you might not know. Public will not randomly go and click on our page and then see something there. So to put it out there in public, in actual venue, maybe will show more people. So yeah, it's definitely going and we are doing okay.
what about Hector?
我是觉得未来会有越来越多的本地的 artist 创作自己的作品，因为我看我也是有时常留意这个My Toy Hot 的 group 啦，就看到有很多本地的 artist 啊，就播自己的作品出来啊，就觉得未来肯定会有越来越多的本地 artist 啊，就创作者咯，所以我是觉得，像刚刚我说的，本地我觉得很需要办这些展、这些活动，就是说 promote 自己的作品，让更多人知道这些手作的作品本地的 artist 制作出来的东西，我觉得不会输给其他国家。
对，
Yeah, it's true lah. It's true. I think the market is booming. Like now with all these social media, you don't have to focus only selling in the local market. You can sell outside of Malaysia, right? So, now all these things takes a lot of challenges. So what is the biggest challenges in the things you do? And how you overcome these challenges?
Challenges. From my side, I mean, I'm still learning on the sculpting and things like that to do my own. I did try a few and then, but it's still more like a hobby stage. But for my Toy Hot wise, it's like the biggest challenge is too many things to share. Can't catch up. To be honest, you cannot catch up anymore. Especially when there is a show going on like TTF Taipei Toy Festival, there is Shanghai Toy Show. During that week or before that actual thing happened, everyone will share their work. Every company will start showing what they are going to sell at that show. We can't share anymore. It's like for right now, it's like I just few of us is just the admin is just wherever we see we like, we will just share. We can't, and of course we are a bit biased. If we see Malaysia one, we first share Malaysia first, the rest we don't care. Only if have time we will start sharing the rest. But every time when there's such show happen, we main focus is to find Malaysian artists or anything that involve Malaysian artists, we will share their stuff first. To let people know like, hey, these are our own people, we are proud of them. And then after that we will start focus on neighbor country first, like Singapore, Indonesia, Philippines, all these we will share also more. Because US, all this is like they have their own platform to share also, but there are some that we feel like we like it, then we will share. But yeah, seriously now the news is like, especially now seems like the factory back to normal again. So releases is like keep going on for the past few months. You cannot catch up anymore. That's the biggest challenge.
So what about Hector?
我觉得就像我做我作品的时候呢，很挑战的地方就是像刚刚说的材料方面哦，很难买到，有时候很难买到。然后还有的最重要的就是你的东西是你制作的时候也是要左右对称啊，就是我拿一个 sample 给你看啊，后面这些都是我的作品啊，这个是最挑战的这一篇，你看到了？这一篇呢，就是它，你雕它这里，好像你雕一边另外一边你要雕到就是要做给它准，这个是最困难的地方。所以有时候我们雕这样的东西的时候我一定要用镜子去照着这个作品，去看它对不对称。因为我们肉眼看到的东西啦，就是说你做的时候你都肉眼看，你会觉得说，这个是准了的。但是你拿镜子一照罢了它反方向嘛，所以你会看到很明显会有高低，会歪，所以这个就是对我来说也是很挑战的，就是你会就是说我会想办法去 arrange 过咯，就是说排过咯，就是说有时候你觉得你做到很好看了，就是说你做到你丢进全部出来到完了，你才发现到你照一个镜子，你才发现到你的东西是歪的，凹凸不平不是凹凸不平，歪的，然后跑形的，所以这个然后你就要重做了。另外一边呢，你要整个磨掉，就要弄掉，就要弄过，就是要 adjust 到它准为止，对了，这个就很花时间。像我们手做的就很花时间在这一方面，所以怎样解决呢？我就是先做一个 rough 先一个 rough 的sculpture 啦一个 rough 的造型先，做一个 rough 的东西先然后你就拿镜子来照看一下它的 position 对不对，准不准。这一个步骤是最重要的对我来说，因为怎样我们用肉眼讲也是看不准的嘛，然后所以你要先做一个 rough 出来先，你照了，你用镜子照，然后看有准，如果准的话你才继续做 detailing， 不然的话你做 detailing你再来照如果有跑形的话，就很多代志了。因为我这一片东西也是用了很久的时间做了，因为它的 detailing 太多了。不过你看得到，它这掉了。它 detailing 太多了，然后所以 会一直要拿镜子来照哦，看准不准哦，看有没有左右对称哦，这就是很花时间在这里哦。
Okay, very interesting process. So I hope everyone learned a little bit of tricks that Hector created. Right. Okay, I think we are coming towards the end. So what is your best advice to the audience out there who are interested in becoming the next successful toy designer, or maybe who wants to start collecting?
Collect what you like. Don't chase the trend, because there's this flipper culture going on everywhere. It's like if it's a hype collection, then all will go over that. Those that they call it miaosa, those kind of thing, like sold out in few seconds, that kind of thing. Long queue at the booth, that kind. People fight in the same thing happen for shoes and things like that. It's like hype, then everyone will fight for it. Don't go for those, seriously. I mean, if you're really up for those, okay, go ahead. But if you're not, and just collect what you really like, find your taste, find what you like, and then or find the artist you really support and things like that, then go ahead. Other than that, it's like don't go chase blindly on, oh, this one famous, I must buy this one first, then I can show off to people. You kill off eventually you get tired of chasing, and then end up it's like you collect something that you don't really like but spend a lot of money on it. And yeah, if you to be artist and things like that, just do it. Don't worry so much. Don't compare yourself with others. Just compare yourself with yourself yesterday. Every time, just look back what you have done, then what you do today, and what you did yesterday, to see the improvement thing. Don't look at others like, imagine if me, I look at Hector's thing, I don't want to sculpt anymore. I was like, never mind, forget it lah. You don't want to do it anymore. But you just do it on your own style, then eventually you will discover it how you can do it better. That's my advice.
Okay, what about Hector?
我觉得就拿像我们造型师来说，就说制作这些 GK 啊，制作模型来说，如果你们也是想要学啊，这样的话，你们坚持是最重要，坚持耐心是最重要。然后 research 一定要弄好，一定要做好哦，然后你才来开始雕。因为 research 对我来说是非常重要的。然后做这些，我是觉得不要半途而废啦，就是说，你也不用说，好像突然间做了就突然放弃这样就是说突然觉得不能雕不下去就放弃那种我觉得你应该要坚持下去你才能成功我是觉得这样
Okay. All right. So I think now we are at the end. Okay, and we are open for questions. I think on Facebook I have seen a few questions. Yeah. Okay, from Alan Ui Kok Ho. So based on your preference, what is the key attraction about designer toys? Like, what makes you decide to collect a particular design?
To collect, if the toy sticks to you, that's the key thing for me. I mean, at the beginning, when you first started, you seems like everything you also like, because you never seen this before. It's like you just buy. Oh, if you like cute, you see every cute thing, you will start buying. Then slowly you will start to research and then find out more about what you really like. Some will like those very cool armor kind of thing. Some will like cute one, you just collect cute. Some will. So if let's say the toy really speaks to you, you see it, then you sort of like 一见钟情 love on the first sight. You see that like, oh, must have buy that one So yeah, so it's like if just collect things you really like, and then you eventually once you start collecting, you will slowly find out what you really like, and then from there you will start to filter off things that it's like for us it's like we share so many things on our Facebook group. If I have the money or what, I'll buy everything, but of course we cannot do that one. So we just share and then to let people see but we're not going to like I share this means I have to buy it. So yeah, you will just slowly find what you really like, and then you start collecting.
Okay, what about Hector?
我呢，对我来说呢，我是看到美的我就收了，很简单，没有什么特别的就是这样，就看到喜欢就收，就喜欢那个 artist 的 style 我就会一直追下去咯，就会收，不是每样都收啦，是真的看见喜欢才收。
Okay, thank you. So next question. I'm not sure what is this.
How come the middle guy quality is so good? You're talking about Hector, right?
Yeah, middle guy is Hector. Okay, next question. Okay, when is the next exhibition?
Exhibition, I think we'll go on up to Tunway or Georgetown.
Okay.
And how to say definitely we like among ourselves we discussed this before always have this topic during our conversation but to plan and to organize one is not easy. So yeah, I would say we need everyone come together, work together as a community to do a proper show. I mean, it's like to start off like our own small designer toy show, like the one in Titik Merah or the one now we're doing online. And then we attend shows like TAGCC. Unfortunately, this year got delayed, postponed to because of MCO. So yeah, to start off, we'll be joining this kind of shows. Overseas, not much because the booth money is crazy. I mean, like for my thought is like we do all this based on passion only. So I mean, we use our own pocket money to get a booth for at the AGCC also, just for the sake of like we want to show people what is this about. So to organize the exhibition is a dream to be honest, for us to after few years of doing this, hopefully one day we can all come together and do a proper one that's only focused on these collectibles or this with our local artists only, to really like go big to promote this scene. Not sure when but hopefully in few years time.
Okay, next one from Aya. I realize more and more of local brands are using character to be their brand mascot now. Do you think this is the dawn of local toy collection era instead of always hot toys from Malaysia?
I would say yes. It's like all the brand, those proper brand definitely will have a mascot, and then it's like they talk about those G.I. Joe or these He-Man toys also, because animation become toys and people collect. So for this brand also, they create mascot and then do plush toy, do a small figure, so for their customer to buy also. For example, it's Monster Cafe in Johor. They first released one sculpted by Bone Alfie, and then yeah, their mascot basically turned into a figure already. So it's a good thing when we see this kind of thing happen. It's like there's hope lah. Not always put Iron Man, put Spider-Man, all this kind that you can't really get the license. It's like hopefully one day it's like those our post Malaysia don't do what Avengers stamp all this Doraemon stamp do something local a bit There's so many artists here, use our own talents you know.
Hector?
我不懂怎样讲。
有希望。
Okay. 有希望啊。Okay.
No comment.
All right, next question. Okay, this question is directed to Hector. May I ask what are the challenges when creating the fine details of all the piece?
Detailing 做的时候我也是没有想很多就是这样做咯。challenge 挑战Hello 听到吗 ？Hello 听到吗？
听到。
也是要做他的形咯，他的形也是很会比较 challenge detailing 我觉得还好都 OK 啦，只要你用的 tools 够细够小只的话，我觉得都 OK 的，都可以弄出来的 detailing。我也不懂怎样解释。
So I guess I hear you. If you wanted to see the detailing, you have to go and go find Hector one day and sit beside him. Okay, the next one is when collecting or creating your own toy, what is the most issue will you face and how do you overcome it?
When collecting if like those limited pieces, then you have to stay awake and then set alarm during the sale. There are some like that especially the overseas one. The timing is not our Asia time, right? Then you have to like stay awake like 1-2 a.m. Then they'll be gone like few minutes or that kind of things. But it's like otherwise yeah, collecting is really very individual. And like if you really up for those, you have to sacrifice otherwise like I mean don't break your bank to buy toys very dangerous and don't try not to buy from second hand or those slippers if you really like it, right? I mean, be patient artists, if you support the artist, right? I mean, buy from them. If it's sold out, too bad. Wait for the next one. Don't jump straight to go look for those in eBay or wherever. Then bid triple, double, triple, or the price, and then let other people earn. I mean, it's best to wait, be patient, and then if you like this one very much, you can do trading also. Trade one piece to another piece. You will eventually find someone that really likes something that you own, and then you like the person what they own, then you can trade. That way is a more fair way as compared to buy from flippers. But to create your toys, I think this one that Hector answer.
Okay, Hector.
我觉得你要 create 你自己的那个，我觉得会遇到的问题，通常都是你自己就是你创作你自己的作品的时候，你通常会遇到问题，就是会有人嫌贵哦，会有人嫌贵哦。然后都是要很便宜啊，很便宜那种啊。然后之前还有人问我，哎，我跟你买一个有的送一个嘛，买一送一啊，buy one free one。然后还有最主要制作的时候呢，我们是要做这个 molding and casting 嘛，我不可能把整个作品这样拿去 mold 的嘛，所以我一定要分件，要 separate 那些 parts 出来全部。这个也是很挑战一下啦，这一方面呢，因为你如果整件作品拿去磨的话哦，你们应该懂吗？这个你 demo 的时候啊，因为你有些作品你的 detailing 会有 undercut 啦，你拉不出的，会导致你的作品坏掉，所以你一定要 separate 那些 parts。这个我觉得是最麻烦、最挑战的地方。你每做一个新的作品哦，就仿佛就会好像学到新的东西这样，只要你每一次 separate 那些 parts 啊都不一样的，所以你还要做它 key 啊那些啊，我觉得很挑战一下啦，就是要小心哦，做的时候要很小心，要很谨慎哦。
Okay, thank you. So, okay, I think any other questions from the audience?
There's one is like, what has been your single biggest challenge as a collector, or your greatest ever find? For me, the biggest success get to be, I mean, for me as a collector and things like that, the biggest success is not on the collecting part. It's the friends I get to know throughout these few years. Be it local or what, it's like, especially I'm currently in Singapore. So, I mean, the best part of it is get to know what we call as toy friends. It's like people from like Jeffrey, all these from Flap Slap, UI from Toy Chronicle, then Mike also collection, then like Jia Ying, our own from Senai, but he also based in Singapore, Ipoh guy. So we always hang out and meet and then poison each other with toys. I mean those kind of things, and then especially when go back Malaysia, we get to meet up with Michael, Abi, all these, Zhang, all these like top toys. And then we go Thailand last year for Toy Expo. From our Facebook group, because of that, we get to meet people or collectors, artists and collectors from overseas when everyone come to Thailand. Somehow we just met and then for the very first time. So those are I would say, the biggest success. It's not on like, oh, I get this very, very rare piece, like one in the whole world, that kind of thing. It's more on the fulfillment as a collector, and the network and the friendship we have throughout is a better thing than collecting.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. And another question is from Yong Jie. Who is the toy designer that inspired you? So I guess to both of you.
Inspired. I think Hector first. I need to think about this one. For me, it's like to really start doing and start making my own things. I would say is Jia Ying. hippo guy. Because when I start searching for Malaysia artists after I found Sean bought his QB Dino, the next one is hippo guy. He's a very resin version hippo guy. So the whole process of like, and then when I start following him, and then I see like, hey, he can actually, he every weekend, imagine he's working in Singapore, and then weekend he will go back home, go back to Johor, and then start casting resin. Over that 2 days, he will start casting and painting and things, and then he bring back. Sometimes he bring back to cheap, sometimes he ship it there. So every weekend he do that. So from there, I was like, say, hey, actually you can start doing your own. That's when I first noticed like, actually this thing can do at home. Then I start to ask him like, hey, how you do this? What where you get this thing from? Of course, he said the material I have to find from Singapore side, and then slowly. So that's where I first started. I first asked him how to cast, what thing need to buy before do casting and things like that. So he will suggest and things. So he will say, I think he will be, he wouldn't know this. Now I'm telling you. The one who like make me feel like, hey, I can start doing this. I think it's Jia Ying.
How about Hector?
影响我最深的就是你们应该懂的啦，那个 Takayuki Takeya 竹谷隆子啊，还有 Yasushi Ninasawa 啊，九侧镜，这两位作者是影响我最深，他们可以算是 toy designer 应该不是了哦，造型师也是造型师，做这些模型的大师。就是我读中学的时候啊，就是逛商场的时候啊，偶尔看到那个 SIC 的 Kamen Rider 那个蒙面超人，就觉得他们造型很独特啊，就是说想说要就认为说他们的那个雕工很厉害啊，就想要学起来啊，就所以要自己上网找资料啊，慢慢学习啊那种哦。所以我能踏入这个行业呢，也可以说是被他们影响到了。因为以前看我小时候也是很喜欢看那些模型书的，就是有时候也会 feature 他们的东西，会有display 他们的东西哦，书里面呢会有他们的作品他们的绘图啊，所以就印象深刻啦，就喜欢到他们的东西，所以我就会想说自己也动手做一个作品出来。当然啦，起初做的时候是很丑的东西，很难看的，所以这个也是要慢慢学习，慢慢一步一步来，别太过急了。最要紧是要有耐心了，还有坚持。
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think we have quite a number of questions now. So the next question is, any upcoming project you guys working on?
Right now, on personal level, planning to release a next. I mean, it's a small project of my own. I wanted, after all the doodling, everything, like I have this idea, I want to do it, and in the process of sculpting, but still not cannot review yet. It's still at the beginning stage.
Yeah, cool.
Then for the group, my Toy Hot wise, upcoming project is to settle the YouTube videos that pending. There's still quite a few need to edit and things like that. That's mainly for the exposure show, that sharing session. I still like few more to go, and then planning to do more unbox and toy reviews. And the big one, hoping probably start a podcast. And this is a long term plan. Right now, not easy to, like, it's in my mind already, and then discussed with Zhang they already, is that because I realized it when I myself like to listen to podcasts and things like that, and I enjoy having a conversation about toys. If you ask Jia Ying all this, you will see like we can talk about toys and stuff like that for hours. So hopefully next year, sometime we get to start doing something like that, because it's like few hours of toys talking is considered normal for us. So hopefully that one, then we get to, of course we will mainly focus on the Malaysia artists first, and collectors and things like that. For video wise, it's like unboxing, visiting studios. Hopefully can visit, go visit Hector's working studio and see how he works. Things like that. It's in planning of it, but because I'm stuck in Singapore now, so there are things like want to do but very hard to do. Hopefully next year or so can slowly get to do all this more. Yeah, that's the plan.
Okay. So next project, I think next question, I think quite an interesting one. It says that when you create a new toy, how do you know if the design is complete or good enough to be presented? So maybe Hector want to start first.
感觉咯，靠感觉咯。然后还有，你看起来整体造型过得到你那一关，我是觉得可以啦，就算是完成了。因为有时候你一件作品啊，你太过 overwork 了也是不好啦，就是加太多东西也是不好，要适可而止啦。比如说你所想象的，好像你要做一只怪物，你想象它有比如说像如果我要做一只妖怪，它有4只手，有两只脚啊，有horn的就做的时候你照样做出来，然后加一些 detail， 你觉得你加到你满意为止啊，你觉得 OK 了就过关了。就觉得就是完成了这样就像我这个作品现在是我在弄这的其中一个series这个我是也是看那种书啊，他们也是用文字形容说他人脸，然后有一个青蛙的脸，有一个猫的脸，有蜘蛛脚，所以这是文字形容出来的，所以你要靠你自己想象你觉得你做出来你觉得 OK 就可以了，没有也不用说放太多detailing下去了，我觉得最要紧是要有美感要有美感然后东西也是要对称那种你觉得你的东西对称准这是最重要的，还有造型我觉得 detailing 也不能说是太过重要了大概这样可以了不要做过头不要做过火，这样可以你觉得过得到你那一关就可以了就靠感觉咯。
Okay. Anything to add, Edward?
Agree with what Hector said. Most important thing is you have to able to accept it. Don't think about what other people think first. Like when you make it, you're very very happy and satisfied with it, and that's it. overthink like, hey, what if this one not enough? And then you go add more, and then end up the whole thing is not what you actually want. Then
Okay, I think the very last question: how do you consider the cost of designing or sculpting a toy? I think this one is how do you consider the cost of the production, right?
Cost, really depends. If you want to go vinyl and things like that, then need to find factory, need to find production house. Then that cost is totally different compared to like you buy paper clay and things like that, do it at home and then buy resin and then cast. So the cost is also much lower compared to the one. So really, the cost is actually really on your own budget. I mean, if you really want to do, let's say you want to produce with a soft vinyl toy, um, easily, I don't know. I'm not sure what is the normal price. Of course, China will be cheaper, but you still need quite a big sum of amount of money for packaging, for the whole process of sculpting, printing, all this stuff. So I mean, if you want to just start and then based on your own budget, you don't have much, really try to find a way to do it yourself first, give it a try, and then cast it at home. And if you want to know more like how and things like that, feel free to ask in my Toy Hot Facebook group. We have a bunch of artists who are more than willing to share their knowledge with you. Like, don't be shy. You can contact them directly, PM them or whatever. So you want to know just the basic things, you can ask around. Definitely one of them will answer you. I think that's the main thing. Like, I mean, cost really hard to. I can't tell you like, oh, you have to prepare 100,000 and then okay, you have to save until 100,000, you can start doing. Then what to do before you get the 100,000?
Hector?
如果呢你自己做呢，好像自己做 casting molding 呢，老实说啦，因为我们是做 GK 的嘛，你给别人做和自己做啊，我觉得价钱也是相差不了多少。然后而且，比如说你如果要生产 vinyl toys 的话，我觉得会很贵啊，你要给国外的人生产，那种就很贵。vinyl 我是觉得很贵啊。然后我做 GK 呢，是因为我生产不多嘛，我不是做 mass production 嘛，我是说可能做30-40次啊 ，maximum 就10次啊。我觉得我自己做得来的话，我就自己做。因为如果你给外面的人帮你翻模啊，做 casting molding 的话呢，你也要有一个你也会有风险，就是说你的东西随时会给人家会给人家盗版啊，就是说偷翻你的件啊，然后低价拿去卖。所以我是觉得啦，如果可以的话，如果自己有能力的话，是自己做是比较好啦。如果材料足够的话，然后又有能力的话，自己做会比较好。然后钱方面，也是差不多啦。你和别人翻也是差不多一样价钱的。
Okay, so I think thank you for all your time. Thank you for agreeing to do this tonight.
Thank you for inviting.
All right. So so I think tonight, all the first six questions will get special gift from Toy Hot side. So Edward, right?
Yeah. This one, thank you for luckily Toy Store sponsoring us Zinchin blind box. Total 6 pieces. I'm going to share this. Can you see this? I'm not sure if it working. Okay, this one. So the Little Monsters by Zin Chin is also a Malaysian artist. Then this sponsored by Lucky Lee Store. So 6 winners get to.
Hold on, Edward. I think they are sharing your screen right now.
Okay. Let's see. Where is it showing?
Yeah.
In this.
Okay, I think it's okay. But if you wanted to look at the image, you can go to our Equator Facebook page. We have already posted there. So it's blind box, huh? It's blind box. So we don't know which one would you get. Right? So I think someone from Equator will get in touch with all of you who have asked questions. But we only give away 6. So the first 6 person who ask questions, we will give it away. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So thank you so much, Edward and
Thank you.
Hector. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
So
Thank you.
for you who are still love art toys, next week we will have 4 art toys designers with us next week. At the same time, 8 p.m. on Thursday. So next Thursday, I'll see you guys again. Thank you. So good night to all.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye. See you.
Bye bye. See you.